Hello everyone, it's Kari. Today I have some fun products to share with you that came in the Hedgehog Hollow May kit. This is all about organizing, and this stamp set has all the tools you need and some sentiments so that you can organize your crafty stash and make some cards as well. There's a couple of stencils that also came in the kit. I'm going to be using these today. Well, I'll be using one of the stencils in one of the stamp sets today. I have here some color swatch charts that I've printed off from each of these websites. I went to scrapbook.com and printed off their scrapbook swatch, and I'm going to use this little stamp. There are 3 smaller stamps and 4 larger ones in this stamp set. I decided to use this small heart to go ahead and swatch this up today. Now this whole month is going to be all about organizing and getting things kind of put together with this kit. And so be sure to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell so that you don't miss a thing. I'll be coming back every week with some more organizing ideas and some tips. For this one, I have printed this off on 2 different papers. When I got started, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use my Nina Solar White paper to print. So the one on the right is actually regular computer paper, and the one on the left that I'm stamping here is the Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock. And I found that it is so important to use the cardstock that you're going to be using for your cards, because this will show the true color, and also the ink seemed to really kind of soak into the computer paper. And on the Nina Solar White, it stamped more true to color, and I didn't have any bleeding issues with the ink. So, yes, I printed out all of this on my beloved Nina Solar White paper. Here's a sampling of, see how you can tell the differences? There's a big difference in those pinks. The blue also, especially the lighter colors, they look so much better on the cardstock. That's the Nina on the left. And so that's what I decided to do for all of my ink swatching today and for all my color charts. So these are printed with my laser printer on Nina Solar White. I'll have some links down below for you if you're interested to finding these charts, and also all of the supplies and things that I've used. Now I've sped this up like 20 times so that you don't have to watch me swatch all of these distress oxides. This is going to be a really fast video. It did take me a few days to ink swatch all my colors that I wanted to do, and you'll see in just a minute everything that I did to get this notebook ready and in an organized fashion. I found that if you started with the lighter colors, then it really helped so that you didn't have any color mixing. The distress oxides were really very easy. I was sure to just clean off the stamp in between stamping, and these did just fine. But some of my other inks, they did stain the stamp a little, so I found a really good cleaning was what was so important to do here, especially in between the darker colors of ink. So I gave it a good cleaning between stamping. Now for my distress inks, I don't normally stamp with these. I do more ink blending and techniques with them, so I decided to use the stencil to swatch out the inks. The oxides I went ahead and stamped, but the inks I wanted to stencil. And I started using my blender brush here, but I obviously had some color left on that brush, and it was not true to color for this ink. So I decided, since I have all these sponges with each individual color, I have a separate sponge pretty much for all my smaller distress inks. Look at the difference there. You can tell that it really does make a difference. So for my smaller distress inks that I had the sponges for that color, I used those so that I didn't get any ink contamination, and I got a more true color on my swatch. Now I cleaned the stencil in between each one that I did so it didn't blend into the next color. I taped it off, as you can see, with some purple tape, and I just blended on each of those colors. I'm going to really quickly go through this one as well, but this was so fun to do, to see which colors I had and which I didn't. I don't have all the distress inks and I don't have all the distress oxides, but I do have most of my favorites, and I for sure have a rainbow of colors, which is really important to me. So there you can see, there's my swatch charts. You can see all the colors that I have at a glance on each of those, and that is just really fun to see. I went ahead and put them in some sheet protectors here because I'm going to put these in my swatch binder. It's going to make it really easy for reference. So these are going to be protected. I just got kind of the economy ones so that they were really thin sheet protectors so that it wouldn't muddle the color at all. I didn't want anything thick for these. Now this next one, I sometimes just swatch out my ink colors on a small scale just to see what's going to work together, and so I am so excited to get this done. I printed off these from JenniferMcGuireInk.com. She put together these swatch charts for a lot of the inks on the market here. She has these little tags or the lines already marked so you know exactly where to cut, and if you just cut them right up to that little line there, or the X on the top where I'm cutting up to, it works out perfectly. They stay together, and then you turn and you cut them all at once on the other side. I got this trimmer exactly for this purpose because before I couldn't just trim to a certain spot. So this was so nice and so helpful for me. I did find that if you have it going at the top, if you start from the bottom and you cut upwards, if you line up your paper on the top guide, then it keeps it all together a little better. You can see I'm struggling a little bit, but I kept this in the video so I could tell you, take it to the top. And then you'll find you have an easier time lining up the wire guide with the lines that she's created and cutting it up towards the top so that it doesn't move. I want to give a standing ovation to Jennifer McGuire for creating these because this would have taken me forever. And she also did some blank ones so that you could actually type on the inks you have, and just in case she didn't already have them done. I am setting this up in the MISTI with the round, larger stamp that came in the kit so that I can stamp out all of my inks, and they'll be in exactly the same spot on each of those little 2x2 inch squares. I cut these so that they'll fit in coin protectors so I can put them in my binder. And at first you can see I started out double stamping these because a lot of times that's what I will do. But I tried to get myself to just stamp the inks once so that I could get the true color and it would show what exactly it looked like on the ink swatch without being double stamped. Because when you stamp it doubly, it does make it a little darker. You can see I'm getting them in exactly the same spot, and I clean those off after every stamping so that I don't get any ink contamination. Now, I know that you probably don't want to sit there and watch me swatch all of my colors, so I'm just going to cut the rest of this out, but I wanted to show you how I did it. It was super easy, and look how fun it is to see the colors all together. These are my Gina inks right here, and I just love seeing them together. Here's a look at my binder after I finished all the swatching. There's the Distress Oxides that we did together, the Distress inks with the stencil, and they're so beautiful. My scrapbook.com hybrid inks, and here's where I start getting into the swatching. This is my neutrals page, and I put it on the front, but I may put it in the back later because I really want to get to the rainbow colors. Come on. But here's all my blacks. You can see my StazOn needs a little re-inking. I've got some beautiful gray colors and browns and tans, and then at the bottom are my no line ink. There's the Ink on 3 Fade Out ink and a Gina Amalgam ink in Whisper. Here's my reds. I have put them kind of in order, the darkest at the top and then going on down to the lightest. This is my orange page with some dark, bright oranges all the way down to some yellowy oranges. And I decided that it would be so nice to have some blank ones in there so you don't get distracted by the ink colors on the next page. I had some extra of these that were cut. After I cut all my ink swatch pages, there were some blank ones. So I just put those in here so I'm not getting distracted. Doesn't that look better? Look, so nice. So I didn't need to do it on that next one there. Here is, there we go. I'm just going to push those all the way down. Here's my yellow page. You can see I don't have very many yellows, but there are some really nice bright colored yellows all the way down to some darker buttercup and honey mustard colors. Here's some greens, and one thing I really love about having them in this kind of a system in the coin pockets is if you have them a little out of order, you can easily change them where they need to go. So like this lime green down here, I felt like it was out of place. So I took that out, rearranged these a little bit so that I could put that one back in, and now I feel like they're in a little better color order, and they're so easy to just change out. There, isn't that better? I press them all down so that they're even and they look uniform. Look how pretty this book is. I'm just giddy right now. Here's my blues. I've got light blues to kind of more turquoise blues, some more steel gray blues down here, and then some navy blues. And then I've got some purpley colors here that work out really great. I'm kind of short on purples, but these are beautiful. Look at that flirty fuchsia. That's a Catherine Puller ink. So pretty. What a good color. My next tab, you probably can't read that there, but it says layering inks. And so I have all these inks here. These are the Altenew inks, and I've stamped them to layer. I use this stamp set here, Bloom and Bud by Altenew, and I use this smaller one because the larger one, it wouldn't really fit on these 2x2 inch squares. So the smaller one I use just to kind of get an idea of what those inks look like layered all together. So there's the yellows, so pretty. And then I have some greens. There, I do have some sets that are not 4 colors, they are just the 3. And so I've just inked those up with the 3 colors. I just skipped one of the layers. I think the most bottom layer. There's the other Altenew in the pinks. This is from the Northern Lights set. And then these are my scrapbook.com ones. These are also layering inks. So look at this one. These are the pinks here. And look how pretty that flower is. Now I'm missing a lot of these inks. So obviously I've got some collecting to do. This can be dangerous, by the way. Shows you what you need, right? I'm kind of putting my fingers in the air with quotes, what you need. Look how pretty those blues are. That's the Sky collection there. I'm in love with this binder. I'm pretty sure this is going to be very, very helpful for me moving on. And I actually had more inks than I expected. Some of these are just like baby ink cubes. I have the little Memento dewdrop inks. And so those are kind of hidden and tucked away. And so it was really fun to see all of these colors put together. I did my metallics and then I put my extras in the back. See, I did print out all the ones that I really am still wanting to collect so that I wouldn't have to waste any paper. And I'm just going to keep those back here. Look at all the ink pads I need. Don't show my husband this. Here's a look at the binder and all the pages that we put together so far. I hope this inspired you to get a little bit of organizing done. This Hedgehog Hollow kit for May is really awesome and very helpful in getting a head start. I am so excited to show you all the organizing projects I have for this month. I can't wait. I'll be back real soon with some more inspiration. Until then, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you back here real soon. If you're interested, here's a few more videos that you might enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.